Happy birthday, Virgos and Libras! This is Troublesome Times. Unscripted, unedited, all done in one take. Because it's so easy, right? Since everyone else has a podcast, I might as well have one too. I mean, the Leos and what is that? What is the rest of August? Yeah, the Leos and the Virgos shouldn't be the only ones that have this kind of thing, right? This was actually a last minute kind of podcast, to be real with you, because really did had a something else coming up in mind, but I've been buried. I'm going all full time work, full time academics, all that. It was I severely underestimated like how much time I really needed to make these videos every once a week. This is why I do once a week, because I remember there was a period I tried to do like the daily thing just to see what would happen, but then that took a toll on me. And then I never wanted to resort to live streams. No offense to anyone that does it. It's just it eats up so much time. And then I thought about 2 weeks or a month, but then like, being the viewer that I am first, I just know that I don't really subscribe to people who do it that long, or when I do, it's like very, 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 very big. So I just know once I get bigger and go grander, I may end up doing the twice a week or the monthly thing. I'm not sure yet. But so for now, I do really want to keep this is like my third longest commitment that I am doing this this weekly YouTuber kind of lifestyle kind of whatever. So and then I'm sure some people are wondering what's number 2 and number 1. Well, I will say number 1 is kind of obvious if you know me. And it seems like I became an unofficial foster dog parent, it seems. So, oh yeah, a bit of an update before I forget. Yeah, I mentioned like the stray cat or the outdoor cat that's always in my yard. There was a funny update to that. Like, first of all, the rest of the cats are still around. Now, it seems like there is another kitten that has shown up and looks just like the outdoor cat, Muriel, that always visits my yard. Except this one doesn't have white in its fur. And I know I've said that before, but this was seriously a littler kind of kitten. And I got pretty uneasy when I first saw this cat, because this kitten was there all day. And then I was kind of wondering what happened to Muriel. And so I was like worried I was going to end up doing like some Boruto kind of update on that. But no, Muriel and the kitten are still around. All these cats are. The squirrels are definitely fine. One was just honking at me right before I was leaving my house. And I know it's a very strange thing to say, honking, those squirrels, but they really do sound a lot like birds. They blend in. Maybe that's how they survive, besides like the way they can jump. But yeah, so they're fine. They're still getting it on jiggy on. They're still very eating good, or they're having so many babies. They're almost as bad as bunnies, like no lie. Or maybe it's just my yard. My yard is just very animal friendly. I may be the real life Disney princess before I know it. I even live right near Disney. It's only a 3-hour drive. And I also live like an hour north of Miami. It's really no secret to do that. Like, I feel really bad for, I'm pretty sure, like, if my fellow academics have seen this, and then they know what is my ranking overall? Like, how am I doing? I'm actually passing everything. Like, it's pretty wild. Like, outside of this, if you be wondering you're too smart to be here. I'm not boring enough to not do this. I mean, maybe I am smart. Maybe you can believe I'm smart and all that, but I like to have fun. We do. So, yeah, so I feel pretty bad. It's like, well, if Jack Wonderland Frost is able to pass and do everything and make all these videos, why can't you guys? Like, I don't want you guys to be like me, making bank, studying, reading, and learning something new almost every single week. Not even a hyperbole over here. I am literally learning something new every single week. Anyway, so it inevitably I often had getting some questions in real life, and it's like, so it seems like this is a progression when you become the online influencer. I don't know why people have believed that every single person that is become somewhat an online figure, that you're gonna move to California and just to social network with your other fellow online like figures, and there you'll all rise up in some way. And I've addressed this in my sudden page where I just like to update stuff and all that. Like I guess my I made an unofficial blog of some sort. So I felt really bad the day I said that. I really did. It really did get to me because this was on the same day that VidCon happened. And it's just kind of weird because we all seem to like know each other in some way. It's kind of like being in, well, what's the word? It's like a social hangout, being like knowing each other and knowing it's kind of surreal. Like I can't even describe the feeling of you make something about someone that's like, you've known and looked up to, that's more famous than you, and then they notice you, and then all of a sudden you're like one of them. It's a pretty unreal feeling. I know that. I still believe that truth be told, I feel like I'm like, it's so weird. I get recognized in a lot of ways now, and I'm really not used to it. I haven't been used to it, but I've gotten to that point where I just cannot escape it, and I just have to adjust to that, just being used to the whole recognize thing. And I really never would have imagined that I would have been recognized. I really am not used to it. So I really did feel bad that I had to basically deny that I am not moving to California, and I explained why, and it was a very harsh thing. Like I said that it's just like Hollywood, being a Hollywood star is romanticized in a way. And I feel like that has so many problematic aspects that I do not feel okay partaking in. That's the whole gist of I was trying to say. And I felt really bad because I here's the thing, like I don't hate Rosanna Pansino. I don't. It's just throughout my adolescence, I get mixed up with Rosanna. I was called Rosanna all the time. And in some ways, I feel like if I do reveal the name I go by, not like, the name I'm really like the career behind Jack Wonderland Frost. It just feels like I would still be mixed up with her. I don't hate her, and I don't think I don't think she makes terrible videos. I don't think she's terrible completely. I just really get tired of being mixed up with Rosanna. And when I just go all out and be completely myself, it's been like that for over, like, how long now? 13 years at the time of this. Definitely right around high school for sure. And and to be honest, I get it. Like, there are a lot of similarities we have and similar likes and hobbies and interests, but I really do get tired of it. Like, it just feels like I just feel like I'm no I'd be known as the other Rosanna, and that's so I don't I mean I truly dislike somebody, it's usually for a reason, and it's even though like the famous Rosanna is, my name's not Rosanna, by the way. It's the famous one. It's just it just feels like I'm in the shadow, and that can be a little bit, anyone who's been like overshadowed knows that feeling. So I really wasn't trying to like ruin anything regarding that. I had nothing to do with her. Like it was just like this whole thing. It's like there's just so many people and all these parties, and the truth, long story short, I just that environment is just not for me. The way that what Hollywood condones and all that, and I just wanted to make that very clear. It's just not for me. I'm pretty southern, and I've grown up in a pretty southern country environment, and I just know I like to visit the city. I like the city. I like all kinds of places. My bucket list is to go on all 50 states. Why? Because I've already been to England. I've already been to Paris. I've already been to like Mexico and Guatemala. Been to Belgium. Best chocolate ever. It's got nothing down on the Belgian chocolates in here. Like, it's probably the best chocolate you'll ever have. I've just been to Germany and Austria and Switzerland briefly and all that. And Czech and all that stuff. I've been pretty much almost all of Europe, I believe. And I've also still want to go. But 50 states, we're its own thing, like the America and all that. So again, I it had so I just know for a fact that living in the city is not me. I'm not a city person. I definitely need somewhere cozy and comfortable to live in. And maybe I'd want to go to the city nearby. And maybe it's definitely not like living in a small town or whatever that song is going by. I know that's not the same as living in a real actual town, but it's just nice knowing that I'm somewhere cozy and comfortable. I just know, like, it's just not for me. No offense to anybody that belongs to that kind of thing, but I just know that it's definitely not a thing I've ever been used to. And in some ways, I think it really, really shows. Like, I mean, and that's the thing. I'm just not really, really used to this thing. Like, I know people have wanted to be, and it's great that they have gotten notoriety for this, but I've always done this to express myself artistically. Like, I've never really, really, really have been that I just thought, oh, people like it, that's cool, and then suddenly a lot of people like it. I'm sure, like, plenty of people feel that way, but I don't know. And that's another thing that I'm really like. I'm kind of showing that I'm not really like kind of odd out of that. Is that a lot of them also try to be big and bold and grand, and I understand why, but and so I just think I don't think we need to do that. I think you can still be like an online figure in a raw sense and still remain true to yourself. I mean, I do think that's for sure, and it's very tempting. Don't lie. I'm not saying that this is just it's is easy to not get in like indulge in this environment. It's not true. It is very tempting. I guess the thing is, like, I think I've said this before. It's the company I'm around that keep me down to earth. But it's kind of like it's too overwhelming overall. I mean, I've always been that person where things get overwhelming. I just really don't engage in it that much. So I guess being doing this online figure thing made me kind of in a metaphorical sense toughen up. So like people who do want to choose to do that, I mean, they just got to deal with it too. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think that you should let this negatively impact you, but that's just how it is, and it's not always a bad thing. I mean, sometimes you just gotta be vocal about your things, be respectful and all that. I mean, it's gone on a little too long. Like I said, it's just I I mean, I will say one thing. Like, I don't know them all like on a personal level, and I'm not going to assume the worst out of them, even if they can be a little embarrassing, like a little cringe sometimes. I mean, I think we all got our moments where all cringe, right? So, like I said, it wasn't like attacking anyone in particular. It was just really saying I'd be like, it's not for me. Like, that kind of environment is unfitting for me. So I know that I have a feeling some people did respond to my grievances, and I really don't know. I'm not gonna judge people on that. I don't really like to listen to what other people say and have them influence my critical thinking. But I mean, I'll consider it, but it's not gonna completely like color my judgment. But I really do appreciate, like, if you were responding to me, it's not just my imagination. I mean, I do appreciate it. I mean, it's really nice to have some comfort knowing that it's not exactly like, this is kind of it's valid. Like what my take is valid. And I don't know. I don't think that anyone should do that. So this gone on for way too long. Like I know, but like I said, I don't really like to, believe it or not, even though I can be pretty blunt and it does come off harsh, I'm really am not trying to like clickbait or bait anything. So nothing hostile or aggressive. It's just, I just think that sometimes you really need like to be someone to tell you to like make sure you don't put your foot in your mouth and then or just suddenly get canceled and all that nonsense. So, little personal update. I'm getting, I get kind of done, really done talking about these updates I have. But I also got this feeling that if I don't, yeah, like, I'm still gonna be like, there's gonna be like some checking in. So this is the check in. You don't have to check in on me. I'm good. So this is like very recent too. So please, like I'm good. So I guess another update is that, the studying horror for the rest of the year, and pretty much everyone's excited to be there. Everyone's there early. I'm trying to be there early. People are studying. People are also studying with horror cross-referencing. What is wrong with us? I don't know. Maybe we all just want to just toughen up and face the fear of the unknown. So there is a pretty interesting like side thing. Like I know, I'm gonna. I keep saying that word. Not. I'm gonna come off as a valley girl instead of the southern I am. So maybe it's a little intermingled. So, mm. So anyway, it's been pretty interesting. So the story that I've been working on, I was gonna put that on hold until I finished the first one, but considering there might be a side project, I can do a creative thing, and I know how short stories definitely function now. There is possible that Rarity may have like a whole short story version. And as predictable as the outcome may have been, yeah, yeah, so apparently this project is already being tried to shut down by trying to garner sympathy upon my end. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna say it. No matter what happens, if anyone knows me well enough, I will write that story if I'm dying to. And I'm getting closer and closer to it the more I'm dissecting this genre. So, anyway, yeah, I inevitably it is possible that this may be a little more like of a hit than I'll ever expect. Maybe, I don't know. But I do think it can work on its own. And I'm saying if it's very good for casuals, for anyone that's just interested, a first time beginner or something, that can be it. Oh, and I definitely am gonna talk about this horror stuff that I've been onto lately. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to do it any sooner, but maybe that's done for a reason. But it's gonna be something else. I really had definitely more in this outline, but I've been going on too much. All I can say is I'm definitely toughening up with horror. And what is going on? Oh, well, I'm still stuck on Frankenstein for a while, but I'm gonna appreciate it as much as I can. But definitely check out Young Frankenstein. That's definitely been fun to watch. And this has come from someone that really dislikes black and white. But I am beginning to appreciate it. So, I'm just saying, like, okay, one more thing. Animated related, right? Why can't there be more animated stuff of anything? Like, I think a lot of stuff would work if it's horrid. I just saw the Telltale Heart, and then it got me shook in a way. I know it's a little old school and it's pretty minimal, but I think it works something else. And I know, right? Right? Why not just feature more original, like original animated stuff? Well, if that's the case, 90% of anime wouldn't be featured at all. Just saying. So, um, that's been fun. Yeah, that's been definitely fun. So, I'm kind of in a catch-22 because I feel like if I say something, it's just gonna be it, like, no matter what, catch-22, if you know what it is, like, no matter which, if I do say anything, if I don't say anything, it can get worse. If I do say something, it might, but the thing is, like, the thing that happened, it's benefiting a lot of people, and I feel like if I do, like, try to express anything, like, really, I'm more worried about how it's just gonna not, like, all the benefits that are benefiting other people that really need it more than I do is just gonna be taken away, and that's pretty unfair for that. And if I do, I'm just worried that things are gonna escalate to a something else. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I, I mean, I don't want. I'm gonna be vague here because I'm really, really am doing my best to try to be fair about everything. Like, uh, sorry, apologies. So, but the thing is that the truth be told, I know of and am aware of things for quite a long time now. And but now, and it used to be like more of a hate dislike kind of dynamic on my end. But and then I swear it feels like this sort of thing was going to be inevitable in some way, and I'm not sure why. Usually my gut feeling is right, and I don't want to extend on it too much. I've been thinking about this for some time. And then I was actually despising every single update I've had to keep tabs on when I had to look into things. But I now that I'm really beginning to see, I was ready for April to be over with and never thought I'd have to deal with it again. But it seems like this is kind of a pattern I'm noticing. Like I I know I am aware of something, dip out, and then it seems like every time I end up seeing these updates, it becomes like worse and worse and worse. And what I'm seeing now, it seems like I really can't just dip out anymore. Because I'm noticing the biggest problem with this spear. It seems like everybody else is benefiting off of these people. And whenever anything bad happens, they're usually out there for themselves. Like they're just all alone and nobody's really speaking up and saying the reason why. People are like kind of saying it's bad, but they're not saying why it's bad. And really what made me start to think about this is that there was a situation. I don't want to be, I'm trying to be respectful as I can here. And I'm just mortified by what I'm seeing, thinking of what the worst outcome could have been. And I'm really concerned for me that if I end up doing like this off period and I come back, something's gonna be made much worse. And overall, it's maybe looks like I'm here to stay in this spear. God damn it. Yeah, it's so this might end up being the fourth longest commitment I'm gonna do now. Yippee! And it's kind of weird. Like maybe this is just became sort of a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe I've just gotten built up a tolerance for this or something. I don't know if that's concerning. At first, like I really despise it because it really felt like mindless slop. If you know, you know. And then over time, it's like the more you're trying to find some meaning into this and what it has been worth for anything, it really starts to grow on you. And maybe maybe the whole issue is that people are just not being real and for the right reasons. And listen, I'm not gonna pretend that this whole thing is just easy peasy cakewalk as pies, whatever you want to use. It's just, I don't know, maybe we've just been, maybe we're just seeing all this them in distress, and we just don't know the true extent of it. I don't know. Shoot. And that's the thing. I don't, like I said, I don't despise anyone. Like, nobody's a winner here. Nobody's better than another. And I don't know, maybe this is just being on this side and just knowing how difficult it is to have all these eyes on you, all these mentions on you, and it's always 24/7. And maybe that's the fascinating study we got to do. Maybe it's not just a first world problem. Believe it or not. I mean, that's the thing. And this is a cliche saying I'm probably going to say. Money can't buy happiness. Well, so I guess I better learn how to be happy. And instead of using escapism or throwing money on all these pseudo science treatments and maybe just consuming myself in hobbies or whatever, maybe I really do got to tackle the root of the issues, and otherwise we might become a spectacle or something. Who knows? Yeah, so funny enough, man, who knew that I would end up showing some growth as well in this online figure lifestyle. Yeah, so okay, so I hope you had some fun, whether that is to clean or shower. And if you haven't done this yet, don't forget to pet your pet. Okay, that was Troublesome Times. An unedited, unscripted, all done in one take podcast. Because anyone else can do a podcast, and I just did it again. Alrighty then, so hope you've had anything but boring time with this podcast experience. And I may not always be around, but I am listening. So until we see each other again, bye bye.